everyone. Welcome to Spirit Switchboard. I am your host, Kerrilynn Shellhorn, and you are joining us live on the United Public Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 New Orleans. Today, I have my sister Kristy joining me today. So this is fun. We did the very first segment that I did with Spirit Switchboard. My sister joined me, and yeah, I'm glad that she's here.
Is this 1 year later? Or a year and a bit later?
Yeah, year and a bit. It's
been a year already.
I know. So it was a year. The beginning of April, or April 22nd, April 21st, I think, something like that. It was a year.
That's all right.
It was a year. Okay, a little bit of housekeeping because I tend to forget this stuff. So you can, if you join on StreamYard, hey Howie.
Hello, Howie Odell.
Howie is part of, or the Rift Nation Network, all kinds of good shows on their network. Please check them out. Hat's back. Hi, Contessa. Hi, Joanna. I know. Kristy's the fan favorite. I'm the oldest and she's the funniest. My brother might have something to say, but
you're the medium and I'm the large.
No, it's the other way around. Oh, no. Hi, Susan. Thanks for being here. Hi, Heather. Hi, Julie.
Susan Murdoch from home?
No, different one. Sorry, I was going a little slow there. Hi, Tanya. Oh, how exciting. Tanya's just saying about to listen to you both on the drive to my new home. Fabulous women. Thank you so much.
Jealous.
A new home? I know. Hi, Jackie. She's saying, sister's smiling already. It's going to be a fun night. Well, we hope it's going to be a fun night. Hi, Marcy. Hi, Deborah. I was thinking of you today. Good thoughts. Okay, StreamYard. So you can head to StreamYard if you are on Facebook. Just register so that we can see your name and your photo if you feel comfortable doing that. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Roku. You can head to SoundCloud for any of the archive shows. Also on the YouTube channel, the UPRN, UFO Paranormal Radio, and my channel, which is just Kerrilynn and Spirit Switchboard.
Are you sure there's nothing else to add to that?
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff to add to that. I wanted to there's things coming up and then I always forget. And then when the shows end, I'm like, I was supposed to talk about this, or I should have talked about that. Coulda, shoulda, woulda, right? Itty bitty shitty thinking. I just had a Jordan moment, Howie. So there's some things coming up. If you go to my website, which is kerrilynshellhorn.com, have the banner. So you guys can if you sign up for the newsletter, you're going to see where I'm going to be at. Most of the events, like the venues that I do, the Dining with the Dead and the Spirits and Sweets here in Ontario, are sold out for the year, but I'm trying to get some new venues up. I don't have a lot of room on the schedule, but Odessa, near Kingston, Ontario, I will be at the Emmanuel United Church doing a Love Life Afterlife event. So I'll give a little bit of a talk and then gallery messages for an hour and a half-ish, depending on how long I talk, if I talk for a half hour. Those tickets are already for sale at Brown Paper Ticket, and you can get the link on the website. And then I'm going to be at the Princess Playhouse Theatre in St. Thomas, Ontario, outside of London. It's haunted. It is legit haunted. It is a great theater. So we're doing the Love Life. It's my third time there. So we're going to do the Love Life Afterlife there. We're going to do talk, gallery messages, and then there'll be some VIP tickets available, and you'll be able to, for those VIP people, do an investigation of the theater after the event. So it'll be a minimal number of people, but it's a really good time. It's a good time. And our other host, another host here, Laura Lee Potvin, she is host of the Angel Rock on Mondays and the Thing at the Foot of the Bed with David Hansel on Thursdays. We will both be at the Lake Superior Paracon in Thunder Bay. Thunder Bay.
The Big Thunder.
So we will be there October 4th at the Lake Superior Paracon. So you can head to their website and get your tickets. I hope that you're going to be there. There's lots of speakers are going to be there. Jeff Belanger, Shane Pittman. Trying to think of the list. There's Dale Quigley and Michael John from Windsor. They have I think it's called the Paranormal Voice is their podcast. You can check them out. I think they're on Sundays. I'm sorry if I got that incorrect, but if you check out on Facebook and YouTube, you'll be able to find them. There's all kinds. Check out the website. There's going to be lots. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Deborah. Okay, so I want to give you guys a little bit of a background about the show today. So I asked Kristy to come on. People have been asking for you.
That's nice.
Because you're the funny one.
I am.
They say that you're the funny one. It's like feeding the ego. So I started doing artist trading cards. So I used to make them before. I needed a creative outlet. Things have been kind of stressful lately. And the stress was starting to get to me. So I needed a creative outlet. So the creative outlet that I chose was the artist trading cards. So like the size of a playing card, and you create art on them and trade them, right? You don't sell them. That's the whole concept, is you trade them. And I have this idea brewing that I will let you all in on once I get enough cards made. And it will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
It will be fun. So as I was deep diving in artist trading cards, I found this woman who has a YouTube channel, and she does artist trading cards. She does creative outlets. She does art journals. She was doing all kinds of fun stuff. And she was telling paranormal stories. And she was talking about the Chickcharney. And I went down the rabbit hole of Chickcharney. And it was so cute. And Howie, if you're still here, it was triggering owl stories, and we just come off of talking about owls and aliens, and then Chickcharney shows up. So that's what I chose. Cryptids. And the Chickcharney is so stinking cute. It's cute.
Yes.
Right? So the Chickcharney looks like an owl with its body lifted up. So if you lift up the body,
3 feet tall.
Some stories say it's 3 feet tall.
My vision is 3 feet tall.
3 feet.
Because I find all cryptids are over 7 feet tall.
Yeah, or up to 10 feet tall.
Yeah, why?
Well, because then it's looming.
That's why I like this short.
Yes. Hi, Teresa. I'm glad that you made it. So Chick, Chick, Charney, Charney. So I'll tell you, like, I know that I should be able to present the photos, and I did it pretty well when we had the paranormal team on, but my foggy brain is just not functioning right today. So you're going to have to listen to me tell you how it looks, because I can't figure out how to do the photos and to share photos today. I'm having that Jordan moment a lot today. It's all right. It looks like an owl, about 3 feet tall.
Yes.
With red eyes. And it has like pterodactyl arms, or like extra arms. So Kathy's just asking what are cryptids. So cryptids are. Go ahead. Do you want to talk?
I didn't really know what they were either.
No, that's okay.
Until you said I couldn't even say Chickcharney. I was like, chim chimney, chick-charoo. I didn't know how to say it. So I was like, oh my God. So then I searched it up and I was like, oh, Bigfoot, Loch Ness. It's like.
So where there's like an folklore, oral history, not a whole lot of evidence. Not a whole lot of evidence to it, but yeah, like Sasquatch is a cryptid. Mothman. And most cryptids have this like terrorizing story to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so my sister is like Dr. Dolittle and Hagrid from Harry Potter all rolled in one. Like we lived in the country growing up, and if there was like, well, city people did it. Not that I'm hacking on all city people, but like city people were doing it. So dumping their cats off down the line and animals. So we had all kinds of animals. We have pictures of my sister sleeping with ducks, all the baby ducks.
And Fraser. I found Fraser in the bush.
Fraser was a cat. Yeah, thank you for letting me know, Teresa. StreamYard hasn't been working so keen with Facebook right now. So if you head over to YouTube, it will hopefully do a little better. Hi, Camille. Thank you for being here. Hello, my friend. It's nice to see you. I hope things are good in Washington. Hi, Lorraine. Oh yeah, we're sisters. So yeah, and I was thinking about the cryptids that had more of a cute side to them, like the kinder, the luck dragon from Neverending Story.
No.
You know, like from Neverending Story, the luck dragon dragons are also like.
Now I'll have that song in my brain.
So the Chickcharney is this 3-foot tall owl. And if you look up owl photos, when you lift their body up, they've got these really long legs. So the Chickcharney has got these long legs. Falcor. Thank you, Susan. Yeah, I love dragons too. Falcor. Do you have a favorite magical creature from Harry Potter?
No.
I like the dragons. And the Cornish pixies, which is what I was going to try to show you guys too, but
Hagrid's dog.
Oh, yeah. Hi, Tina. We were talking about you earlier. We were talking about snacks. Cheese. We were talking about cheese. Okay, so the owls, the Chickcharney. The Chickcharney, is it Andros Island from Bahamas? Mm-hmm. And so
if you're stumbling through the bush or the woods in the Andros Islands,
yeah,
and you come upon it,
yeah,
it can go one of two ways,
depending on what type of person you are.
Oh, I thought if it was nice, if you were nice to it, it'll be nice to you. Does it
Right.
know what kind of person you are?
I think so. If you are not nice, if you are disrespectful, I was going to let a Scottish word out. If you are not kind and not respectful, then it doles out some karma right away, right? And then if you are kind, then it gives you good luck. So yeah, I was like, I'd have that in my backyard.
Yes, this was the only one out of all of them that I'm not afraid of.
Really?
Yes.
Oh.
Every other thing wants to kill you.
No, not all of them. No, we have a list. Okay, so the Chickcharney is supposed to lean the pine trees over and connect the tops of the pine trees to create its nest. So you'll know if there's chickcharnies in the forest if you're going along and see these pine trees that are connected with this nest at the top. And then do I need to talk slower or louder? Because sometimes I talk fast, and today I'm talking fast. Yeah, fairies definitely know our energy as well too. So, when we were looking, or I don't know, how did you make out? When I was looking up the Chickcharney, there's not a lot of places to, not a lot of information. And on one website, it said that it is, that the sightings are still happening today, but when you go to find the stories, you're not finding any stories
or sightings.
That's right. So the one sighting that they say was, what is his name? Oh, I wrote it down so I didn't forget. Oh yeah, there it is. Colonizers. Freaking colonizers. That's what we're going to be
homework than I did.
Oh yeah, I did lots. Because it's so sick and cute. All right.
B student.
It looks like, no. You're not a B student?
Oh, I was, totally.
Oh.
You had to attend to get grades.
Right. Cass, Deborah, Ontario. Okay, so it kind of reminds me of Buckbeak, the hippogriff from Harry Potter, the Chickcharney, and it responds the same way. So if you watched Harry Potter, if you were kind and respectful to the hippogriff, you had to lean down and show respect, and then it would allow you up and it would let you touch it and everything else. But if you were not kind in any way or disrespectful, it would attack you. So they say that the Chickcharney it has red glowing eyes, that it can turn its head 360 degrees, that if you are not kind to it, it will rip your head off. It will turn it 360 degrees.
When I was looking at it, I didn't think of the hippogriff.
What did you think of?
I thought of, do you remember the chicken lady off of Kids in the Hall?
Oh.
That one.
Do it again. Do that sound again.
Do you remember her?
No, do it again.
Hi. She's like, I love Kids in the Hall. That's what I went to.
I don't remember Kids in the Hall too much, to be honest with you. When was Kids in the Hall? I was probably having all my babies then. I don't remember much of any of
late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
And late night.
Yeah. Yeah, I was having babies. Okay, turns its head. So here's the one story that I did find about the Chickcharney doling out karma, and it was with the Prime Minister of the UK, Neville Chamberlain. So 1937, 1940s. So he was taking over property that belonged to his father, and he clear cut it. He took down all of these pine trees and was going to plant sisal plants.
What are those?
Like sisal rugs and stuff, right? So if you remember, we said that the Chickcharney lived in the pine trees, put them together, made these big nests, and along comes dude trying to plant plants that aren't part of that ecosystem, tearing down all of these trees, and it didn't work. None of the crops, the crops all failed. Was a financial disaster, all of it. And they say that the reason why it was such a big failure was because the Chickcharney was upset for them killing their homes.
Valid reason.
It is valid. I think it's valid.
but not beheaded. He didn't get beheaded. So that
No, but that story would have been
doled out.
Yeah.
I like karma just to go.
Well, that's the thing. Like, and I know it's not a very spiritual stand to have, right? To want karma to see.
Oopsies.
It is not a very spiritual stand to want to be able to see karma being doled out, right? And you think differently once you, at least from my experience working as a medium, what I have seen and observed is you do not, you still have free will, but you see from an unconditional place after you've watched your life review, and you don't necessarily want to dish out karma after you die. So that's ego stuff that's here. But
I don't want
if you're going to clear cut,
I want it before I die, so I can see it all.
Well, let's find a Chickcharney for your backyard, and
right,
you've got all those pine trees.
What do they eat? Rice Krispies. I just left those for geese.
Do geese eat Rice Krispies?
And they do in my backyard.
I thought, is that considered bread though? I thought bread was bad.
It's rice.
It's rice.
Bread is wheat. It's gluten free.
Oh. Charms is the giver of the same. Karma. Yeah, karma is the giver of the same.
Is that a song or a lyric in the song?
I don't know.
I feel like it's a lyric in a song.
Are you going to sing it?
Nope. I might Google it later.
Sing it like the chicken lady.
No. So I'll probably Google Kids in the Hall tonight too.
I think we'll all Google kids in the hall tonight. Could you imagine though? Like, so the reason why we had this whole big discussion, I had Joe Montaldo, who's the owner of our network, his UFO undercover chicken lady. Yes, Howie, do you know a chicken lady? And we're like, he's talked. Actually, you know what, Howie? I would like us. Will you come on the show once? I'm asking you live as we're going, but I think we should do an owl show. We should just do an owl show in all the directions that will take us, even if it's Chickcharney. But it had me going down the alien thing. So was the Chickcharney an alien?
I feel
and it's elusive shapeshifter. Dimensional, in and out.
Sure.
I think all of those sort of cryptids have, we can theorize so many different things for them, right? Mm-hmm. Depending on all the oral stories that go with them. Okay, Howie, sounds good. I'll hit you up and we will nail down a time. Just a local. Hi, Barb. Thanks for being here. Which one do you want to talk about first?
Oh, yeah.
Because I really wanted to talk about cryptids that we wouldn't mind having in our backyard. I'd be okay with having a Chickcharney in my backyard because I don't have to worry about like getting my head ripped off.
Yes.
Some of my neighbors might, though. Might be beneficial.
Was Bessie.
Okay. So what is there's a name. Oh, guys, you need to help me out. So it's the movie with the little boy that finds this egg. I think they're in Scotland. So it's kind of like the Loch Ness Monster, and it hatches, and it grows in the little shed. Nope. Come on.
I'm just thinking how to train your dragon. I don't know.
Well, kinda. Okay, tell us about Bessie.
Bessie was 100 years before Nessie.
Who is Nessie? Where was Nessie?
Nessie's Loch Ness.
Oh, Loch Ness Monster.
And so the one thing that I thought was neat was that Bessie, one of the sites it was seen was in Crystal Beach in Fort Erie. That's not far from here.
I know Fort Erie. It's not far from here. We live just outside of Toronto. I know, Michelle. I can't remember either. And I don't know if it's because I'm perimenopausal, if I had a lot of stress this week, just a little foggy brained and not sleeping well. But I know the little boy was cutie patootie. And I think that's all I can remember. The water horse. Oh my gosh, you are the whiz. You are the wizard. The water horse. Exactly, the water horse. Thank you so much, everybody. The Water Horse is such a good movie.
Never seen it.
Yeah, that makes
Or
me
heard of it.
Makes me sad. That makes me sad. You'll have to watch it. It's so sweet.
I'm all right with that.
No, it's sweet. It's sweet, and we need more sweet movies. We need more sweet movies. I'm gonna find my paper about Bessie. Okay, keep going. Lake Erie.
Lake Erie. That's all I wrote.
I was just that like, was your homework. He's like, you said you did homework, and that's all you wrote was Bessie, Lake Erie.
Pages. I have like sentences.
All right, here. I'll grab my.
She's
homework.
Canadian.
Well,
and sometimes
depends on which
Michigan.
side of Lake Erie you're
That's
on.
Right. It is thought to be.
Oh, good for you though for getting there, Michelle, because I didn't get there. Okay.
Bessie is thought to be an eel.
Did you say okay? So
and there were sightings like all the way up until was it 93 or 83, something like that.
Yeah. I wrote down sightings. I wrote them down so that we could talk about it.
So there was consecutive sightings, like sighting after sighting after sighting after sighting.
Yeah. So the first sighting was in 1793.
Got that. I wrote that down too.
So you did write more than just Lake Erie.
I have 3 sentences.
30 to 40 feet long and a foot in diameter in grayish color. See, folks? Okay. So when I'm sharing messages at anywhere, like especially the public events, and animals come in, especially dogs, they bump up against me. And that's exactly my go-to. Like if I was standing in a lake and something touched me, but you don't know what it is, that's how animals feel when I'm giving messages. And I'm good. And I love that they come in. I love that our pets come in, but I'm so focused on the people, like the spirits that are coming in. And then when the animals touch me, it just kind of shocks me for a second and I'm not ready for it. And that's what I think of when I think about Bessies. Imagine standing in a lake and having this thing like slithering up around you.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, my biggest thing in like parentheses where it's like Crystal Beach, Fort Erie, near us.
Oh, Crystal Beach is beautiful. It's one of my favorite beaches.
Is that the one that you can drive up to? You can drive your car right up
to
the water?
Not when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Not when I was there. My youngest son will be 19 in a few weeks. And so every summer we're having a squirrel moment. So every summer for a while, till 2020, we would pick a theme for the summer. And one summer we picked beaches, and we were going to go to as many as we could through the summer, places that we had never gone to before to swim. And Crystal Beach was our favorite that summer. We went all over the place trying to find new ones. But yeah, one year we did big roadside attractions too, which is fun.
That'd be fun.
And food trucks. Food trucks was my favorite.
That would be.
Food trucks was my favorite.
Have snacks, will travel.
Exactly. It's all about the snacks. Contessa, would a selkie be considered a cryptid? I don't know. I don't know. I think that I would consider it. It's something that. Are you Googling?
If I can.
You do. Oh, you just take it off. It's all good. You don't need to have it. Okay.
At first I thought it was a chicken, a silky. I was like, that's a chicken.
No, it's not a chicken. Okay, let's keep going with Bessie. Oh, so the story in 17, it's crazy, 1793, but a captain would keep track of all of the things that are going on their ship. So that's why there's a written history to that one. So while shooting ducks north of Sandusky, Ohio in 1793, the captain of the sloop Felicity startled a large snake-necked creature described as more than a rod, 16 and a half feet in length. In July 1817, the crew of a schooner reported a 30 to 40 foot long serpent.
It's getting bigger.
Dark in color. And later that year, another boat spotted a similar animal, this time copper colored and 60 feet in length. And that's what happens with oral stories, right? It's a telephone game.
Bigger. Good point.
So actually, we've got that one written down. We're going to talk about that one tonight too. And that got me on a whole other, like, maybe we just need to do lake monsters one time. But that was on my list. I mean, even though I'm seeing that, it kind of gives me, I think I just, yeah. But I was thinking that Bessie, there's no stories of it attacking anybody. It's just doing its thing.
Selkie are mythological creatures that can shapeshift between seal and human forms by putting or removing their seal skin.
Cryptid.
Then I would say so.
But do they have a mean history?
I didn't get that far yet.
Need your glasses.
They're in the car. I don't wear my glasses. People might think I'm old. Celtic and Norse in origin.
Oh my gosh. Okay. There's so many sightings. So yeah, and there is one. There was a sighting from Crystal Beach.
For a Selkie?
No. We're back on Bessie. Keep track. Crystal Beach near Fort Erie was the scene of another sighting on May 5th, 1896. This time there were 4 eyewitnesses who watched for 45 minutes. 45 minutes, that's a long time, and to have multiple people seeing it.
What year is that?
1896. As a 30-foot creature with a dog-shaped head. See, it just gets, the stories get wilder. So dog-shaped head and pointy tail churned up the water as it swam about until finally disappearing before nightfall. A reward of 100,000 has been offered by Huron Lagoons Marina for the capture of Bessie, dead or alive. Like
100,000 in
why?
1896.
But why dead or alive? And it's not hurting anybody. So why?
Because fear was different then.
Well, I don't know if it's different now, but hopefully. But I just don't understand why you would need to harm it when it's not really doing anything.
We'll have it slither upside your boat and see how you're feeling.
Oh, I would probably want to touch it.
No.
Share my cheese. Share my snacks. I would. Here, I thought you would be. You're not open to that.
I'm not open to slithery and slimy. I am feathery and
furry. We're going to talk about sheep squatch. Yes. Sheep squatch. We're going to talk about that one too.
We're going to talk about another one too.
How he's saying all the way back from Sir Walter Drake, these creatures have been seen. Yeah, it's crazy. Bessie first earned the name Bessie in a Pennsylvania newsletter of Creature Chronicles in 1991. So that's a long time to go without having some kind of label.
And who named it? Why Bessie?
Well, let's find it. The editor had reports of a serpentine monster in Lake Erie, and the article considered sightings that took place 30 years earlier. Bessie was described 30 to 50 feet long reptile, as round as a bowling ball with a long snake-like neck. Sightings recorded in the article were from 1960, 1969, 1981, 1983, 85, 89, and 1990. Holy cow. And it's all like multiple people seeing it.
And 90 seems recent.
Right, because we go from schooners to jet skis.
Yeah, the 1990s was in Lake Erie.
Yeah. So 1990, four reports. So 4 reports of Bessie occurred. What if it's like not Bessie? What if it's like Johnny Cash is a boy named Sue? Boy named Bessie.
Well,
Bob Sraka was jet skiing in Lake Erie when he saw a porpoise or a whale in the lake. See, that doesn't even sound like. However, porpoises and whales can't live in fresh water.
that's right.
Bob said that he recognized an aquatic air breather. Having issues with this sighting.
That was more like what kind of fish? What big fish? Pikes are really big.
2 other sightings. Gail Kasner in 1989 used a fish finder graph from a boat owned by his friend, and the fish finder had a sonar reading of a large cigar-shaped apparition, 35 feet long and 30 feet underwater. So could that not have been like an alien ship too? Because that's underwater.
Yeah.
There are some underwater. Giant serpent. So I would pay attention to the ones that say giant serpent.
Over doghead?
Yeah.
Probably, yes. It seems more plausible.
And I wonder why there's such a big gap between like early 1800s and it doesn't seem like there's any sightings from that time to like 1980.
I hopped over to Michigan. It was in Michigan.
Underground tunnels?
Underground tunnels? Could be.
In like inner earth, going up one place, coming up another.
I don't know.
Like titans. It's like a titan.
I think it's a thing.
A thing?
Yes.
What? Like what?
Like it's real. Like it's not. I think it's just.
I'm listening.
I think
I'm with
it's
you.
an actual
I'm on it.
Species that's just elusive.
Like Sasquatch.
Yes. Well, see, I think Sasquatch are like shapeshifters. I don't know if it's a species.
Mm-hmm. There's lots of people that, especially the indigenous communities, feel that it is
A shapeshifter.
Nope, that it
Really?
is. That it was its own culture.
Yeah.
And that the Wendigos are like rogue Sasquatches that have been pushed out of the community, and they just go kind of crazy.
And where do the Wendigos live?
I don't know. Depends. Everybody's got a different story.
Hmm?
I don't know, but I don't want a Wendigo in my backyard.
What?
No. But I take Bessie.
Yeah.
Contessa's just saying there are a lot of unknowns in the water, probably a world of its own. I agree.
I mean, the pictures of Bessie are cute. It looks like a floaty in the pool.
That's. I just wouldn't want to be standing in the lake and having it rub up against me when I can't see it. If I'm on this side or looking down, I may not even be awake. I'd have to have so much gravel to be on a boat. I can't even ride in a car without getting car sick.
I went swimming at Moose Lake in Deborah,
Ontario.
home.
Moose Lake. Mm-hmm.
And there was a water snake that was swimming beside me. I walked on water. I walked on water. No way.
How old were you? I couldn't have been there because I would have remembered
I didn't
that.
have kids yet. So 16.
You were 16? I don't think I've ever seen a water snake.
Ugh, it was black.
So imagine that at 30 to 60
and
feet.
And it was only like, I don't know, 2 feet, 1.5 feet. I just remember seeing it come.
Do water snakes stay on the top, or did
it was on the top? But
and it's slithering
yes.
on the top of the water.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if I'd be good with that.
I wasn't good with that.
I don't know. I don't think I could be. Not if I was standing beside it. So I was on the other side of it.
No, I don't want to be near it. Unless I have a shovel.
No. Really?
Yeah.
No. No.
Did someone say reward?
I wonder if it's still.
Do you know what that's from?
No.
Grinch.
From Jim Carrey's. Yeah. I have trouble watching Jim Carrey.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. You want to talk about sheep squatch?
He was my least. Oh no, Mantis Man was my least. Sure, let's talk about sheep
squatch.
Sheep squatch.
Kerrilynn, I don't know if water snakes are poisonous. I don't know.
Well, there's a water moccasin. Yes, that's poisonous.
Did you do the homework about that, or did you just know?
Life.
I didn't know that.
Life in the bush.
It's serpent of knowledge. I didn't know that. Did somebody tell you that?
I don't know. I just know it. Just one of those things.
Our grandpa was very much a bushman, right?
We lived in a bush.
We lived in the bush. But so we didn't live near water to know what water snakes were.
Yes, we did. The water was across the street.
Yeah. It was
Pine Island. It was right across
Pine Island. And there was a land causeway there.
Yes.
With the land causeway. But I don't remember seeing any of that stuff. I don't remember seeing a water snake.
No, well, because I was at Moose Lake. You had to be there.
Who's on first? Sheep squatch.
West Virginia. They smell like sulfur.
Which is never a good thing. If they say that you smell sulfur, it's something bad. But I still...
So, when I read that, smells like sulfur, my brain went to why is the chupacabra smells like sulfur? The sheep squatch smells like sulfur. What is it about rotten eggs that these things smell like sulfur? What is that? It's an element, right? Sulfur is an element?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
It just makes me think of matches. Yes, sulfur, no bueno. Exactly.
But why do
Deborah agree? So again, if it's oral history and just stories, and it's the telephone game, so one person passing the story along, it immediately makes you think it's evil. Mm-hmm. Immediately, I just dislike using the word demon, but people go to that realm or dimensional. It just adds, though, like people say, Sasquatch smells skunky.
Yeah.
And bad too. But if it is a creature that's living in the bush, like wouldn't its fur and stuff just get stinky anyway?
There are other creatures that have smells that smell good. I don't know what the animal is, but it smells like popcorn. There's some sort of popcorn animal that smells good.
That makes sense too. Deb saying warning you off. Exactly. Like skunks, right? Commanding respect, I think, with skunks. But...
They always smell. They're always over 7 feet. They're always mixed with two things. A humanoid animal mixed. Like Mothman, half moth, half human.
So, but Mothman was, the history with Mothman is there to give a warning. Like he was not causing the destruction. He shows up before the destruction happened. As a warning.
I've heard that too.
So, but Sasquatch, or sorry, the sheep squatch has like the horns.
Yes.
Like the sheep head.
The ram's head.
Ram's head. And it's supposed to have razor sharp teeth. Saber-like teeth is what they said.
You can read that.
Yep.
I cannot.
Saber-like teeth and single print set of horns, not dissimilar to those found on a young goat. Its forelimbs end in paw-like hands, similar to those of raccoon, but larger, while its tail is long and hairless, that of an opossum. And I was like, oh, opossums are cute.
Mhm.
But it is. It's like all of them all jumbled up, reputed to smell like sulfur, which has been attributed through folklore to the beast being born within the area in Mason County, like the Mothman theories. Musk-like scent. Musks would be like skunks and weasels, right?
Yes. Yep. Damp, wet smell.
So in 1994, see, you did know. Do you want to say it?
I just wrote sheep squatch. West Virginia smells like sulfur.
Okay. In 1994, a former Navy seaman said that he had witnessed the beast breaking through the forest.
But that's to me, that's recent.
94 is recent.
Yeah.
More recent than the 1700s.
Yes.
The white thing breached the bush line and knelt to drink from the creek. Here it drank for a few minutes before crossing the creek and continuing toward the nearby road. The witness stated he observed the animal for a while before it moved on to the surrounding bush. So it wasn't attacking or anything.
What's the purpose?
Well, why does it need? I don't know its purpose. Maybe it's having its own existential crisis, so it's figuring out what it needs.
True. Is it an experiment?
Is
How do
it?
these things come to be?
I don't know. Within the same year, 2 children observed the creature while playing in the yard within Boone County. Where's Boone County?
I don't know, but it sounds fun. Let's go to Boone.
Is that Pennsylvania? Julie, are you still here? So the two kids saw it near Boone County, reported having observed looked like a large white bear, yet with this case stood up on its hind legs, making it over 6 feet tall. It startled the children. The beast ran off through the forest, breaking medium-sized limbs as it ran through the path. So again, it just kind of ran away. It's not there to hurt. Like, it's scary looking, but not going to hurt anybody.
Right.
Oh, what was the thing that I saw with it too? Oh my gosh, no, there was like up to 2015, there's a sighting. So let's read that one. So 1999, another incident in 1999 involved a couple of campers who were in the forest at night, again in Boone County. We need somebody from Boone County on to talk about sheep squatch. They eventually heard an animal snorting and scuffling around the camp in a manner similar to an aggravated bear. Boone is in Missouri. Thank you, Sherry. Reacting, all of a sudden, the sheep squatch suddenly charged out of the darkness at the campers. Reacting quickly, they jumped up and ran back into their house, all the while being pursued by the sheep squatch, which is a very different experience than the other people had. So why? The white thing stopped at the edge of the forest. When they crossed it let out a terrible scream, and then it turned around and headed back into the woods. The next morning, the campers returned to their campsite and the trail home, finding it to be torn up. They referred to it as like someone had tilled up for gardening. Doesn't quite make sense to me. But one of the things that I read, it says the grotesque creature has the ability to use quills on its back. So again, the story gets bigger, right? So telephone game. And somewhere, I think it was with him, it said that the urine was, the urine was acidic or acidy. Acidic?
Who's up to the urine?
I don't know, but that's what it was, one of those things that I read about it. And then I was like, if it feels like it has a constant urine, if it has a constant UTI, no wonder why it's grumpy.
Right.
If it has a constant UTI and it's burning every time you go to the bathroom. And yeah. If it's like wolves and it's marking its territory too. And it hurts.
Who's following it around while it pees? How do you
I
know
don't
it's
know.
that thing's pee?
Well, if they're smelling sulfur and then they check it out, what if there's just wet on the ground? I don't know. There's not enough story, but the story keeps changing. So it's kind of like a dog. Boone County says it is in Arkansas, Indiana, Illinois, Iowa, West Virginia, according to Google. Thank you, Kerrilynn. But it doesn't seem to be like there's no reports of anybody being hurt. There's no reports of, I'd still share my snacks.
It's reclusive. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, like
Like me.
you can live in harmony. Live in harmony on your property with the Sasquatch, with the sheep squatch, with the Chickcharney.
Chickcharney is.
What if they were all
welcome.
here first? They were all here first and we're invading their space.
Quite possible.
2015 in Folks Run, Virginia, the beast was spotted once again in the forests of the Appalachia. The creature was spotted close to midnight by 6 campers spending the night in the dense woods. The beast was reportedly 8 to 9 feet tall with a shoulder width.
It would be width.
Yeah, 4 to 5 feet. One of the campers saw the beast at the top of the nearby hill in a crouching position. Then it stood up and he alerted the other campers. The creature started running down the steep hill towards the campers, but they were separated by the river that was flowing through it. They looked in horror as it searched for a way to cross, and with no other option began to wade through the river. It finally came out of the water, and the campers reported that it appeared like a bipedal dog in the chest with its fur wet from the river crossing. Then a loud guttural screech was heard about 2 miles off from where they were. Then the sheep squatch looked up in shock, just high enough so the moonlight was on its face, and the campers looked on in fear as it let out a pathetic whimper. Then it sprinted across in the different direction. So is it screeching
Or is it
a different
whimper?
screeching? Is it whimper? Crazy.
Well, I feel sorry for it now. It whimpered.
And then I always have other questions. Were the campers drinking? Were they partaking in things?
The campers I know.
Would be partaking in things.
Magic mushrooms.
Right?
Definitely. If you're a camper, you're having a drink or two.
Not always.
Oh.
I didn't.
You didn't?
No.
Oh.
No.
Well.
No. Especially in the bush and stuff. I didn't. No.
I have a trailer, so.
Well, you don't necessarily want to camp. You want to glamp.
Well, who wants to be uncomfortable?
That's not really camping.
Define camping.
Well, maybe it's hungry. Maybe it was whimpering because it needed a snack.
Most likely. That's what I sound like. Well, no,
I'm the
more
wailing.
guttural.
I'm the guttural screech too. Definitely hangry. But it just, I think like that was one of the ones I saw that I would put on my list of I'd be okay about running across that too. Even, I mean, it sounds scary, but I still would, I don't know, just seeing it from a different perspective, right? If it's presenting itself, does it need something from us? No different than, you know, if you're doing a paranormal investigation and going into a place that has stuff going on, are they approaching you because they need something? Like understanding it from a different point of view.
Right.
And having some sort of balance. Are they presenting because on some sort of spiritual level, things are out of balance and they're needing us to do our part, and what part do we need to do?
That is a good way of thinking. I still personally would have a knife on me, just in case.
Wow, maybe they're looking at you as the scary person. Like maybe you have done something. They don't trust you, or somebody else has done something. And that could be like those stories don't show it going in and out either. They're
Right.
not talking about it. So, I mean, lots of people will report Sasquatches like walking through a door or being dimensional. But I've not come across any stories like that with the sheep squatch.
No. We've never heard of a Sasquatch doing that.
Did you know there's a bat squatch too?
No.
Sorry, Sandy. Sandy's saying maybe it can sense when people are scared, so it feels scared. Right. So again, is it needing something or just wanting to make contact as well too? Like Harry and the Hendersons when we were younger, right?
That scared me.
Harry and the Hendersons scared you?
Yes.
Oh, that just fueled me even more. Let's find a Sasquatch. Share my apples. Share my snacks.
Yeah.
Let it be in our backyard. It probably was in our backyard.
It probably was. Even Dad says there's so much area in our hometown area that's
All kinds
untouched, and
Yeah.
it's also native land.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always felt at our home that it was like you were never alone. Like the trees had eyes. Like, I don't know.
Deb is just responding to Sandy, saying yes to Sandy. Whenever I've met a bear in the woods, we were each wary. And if you if you think there's so many different ways of thinking about it, and if they are part of that collective consciousness of one, and we're able to tap into them as well too on a different vibrational level, like if we were in like a conscious thought, asking them what they're needing. So I'm going to put sheep squatch on my list of things to try to tap into and see what happens. Stay tuned. I'll let you know. Sasquatch.
Sheep squatch.
And the sheep squatch. And then maybe bat squatch.
Where's that one? I've never heard of that one.
Yes, bat squatch apparently is a thing. And I think somebody made a beer too.
Oh.
Out of like using that.
I hope it's not skunky.
Moniker. Do you want to do the... Where do you want to go next? Ogopogo?
I forgot the Ogopogo. But I do know it's Canadian.
Yeah. There's lots. When I was looking, there was a lot of...
And it was mistaken. Wait, it was mistaken for...
Was it mistaken for timber or wood?
No, it was a fish.
There was a lot of different cryptids in the lakes in Canada.
Yeah.
Like we really should just do a whole show about one.
It seems like they were all like intercrossed with being like a native land, native sightings, native sturgeon.
Oh, a sturgeon. Sturgeons are kind of creepy looking fish, actually.
They are prehistoric.
Yeah, they're kind of creepy looking. You think it's a giant eel?
The Ogopogo?
So, cryptid lake monster reported to live in Lake Okanagan in British Columbia in 1926. So it starts like a long time ago. A sighting is claimed to have occurred at the Okanagan Mission Beach. This event was supposedly witnessed by 30 cars of people who all claimed to have seen the same thing. In 1968, Art Folden filmed what is claimed to be footage of the alleged creature, showing a large wave moving across the water. A computer analysis of the footage concluded it was a solid 3-dimensional object. In 2011, a cell phone video captured 2 dark shapes in the water. A suggested explanation is that the video shows 2 logs. That's what I had heard as well too. Ogopogo has allegedly been seen by First Nations people since the 19th century. The most common description is a 40 to 50 foot long sea serpent. British cryptozoologist Carl Shuker has categorized the Ogopogo as a many hump variety of lake monster and suggested it may be kind of a primitive serpentine whale, basilosaurus, such as the basilosaurus that lived 40 million years ago. However, because the physical evidence for the beast is limited to unclear photographs and film, maybe it doesn't want to be filmed.
In 2011.
It has also been suggested that the sightings are misidentifications of common animals such as otters and inanimate objects such as floating logs, and it's also possible that it is pliosaur, mosasaur. There is a myth that in the middle of the lake there is a cave, and that's where Ogopogo lives. Why would it be a myth? Do we not have the ability to check the lake? Would we not have things that could check the lake to see if there's actually a cave?
Yeah,
on a tunnel
fish
system?
finders, depth things. That's how they found Bessie and Nessie. So they should be able to find the Ogopogo.
Wait, it says tissue samples and corpse. What the heck? We're missing.
Yeah.
The report started in 1995, but didn't get any big attention until 1997 when a video of the creature and blurry photos were taken, prompting a CNN article published June 12th in 1997. Again, the creature between 30 and 50.
So the specimens are in somebody's basement.
2 scientists have agreed to analyze the remains of a mysterious-looking specimen
In his freezer at home.
Oh, the remains were found by a Kelowna resident, Dan Popoff, as he paddled his kayak near the far end of Lakeshore Road.
Still has the carcass in his freezer at home, right beside the ground beef and your holiday ham. Like, what's that in your freezer? Could be the Ogopogo.
Sarah's sharing probably, I think it would be hidden from us. Deb saying cryptic zoologist. That's cool. Let's see if we can. Kerrilynn, I recently watched a video following Sasquatch in the States, and one man remembers being in a blind hunting and he heard something approaching, thinking it was a fellow hunter. He didn't move, kept his eyes on the long range instead. However, he got a rub on his shoulder and immediately looked. It was a Sasquatch who looked so surprised. He said it jumped back and it was in shock too. He said it stood up after having had knelt beside him, and when it did, he said it backed up and then it ran away. So, but when, like, I've heard that people say that it smells as well too. So, I mean, how would it have walked up behind him and he didn't smell it? Not that I'm discounting it, but I always have questions. I just have 1,000 questions and see it from inside out and sideways. If you are just joining in, Thank you for joining us here on Spirit Switchboard. You are listening to us live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7, New Orleans. I'm your host, Kerrilynn Shellhorn, and I have my sister on the show today, Kristy, and we're talking about cryptids that we would not mind maybe rubbing a belly, sharing our snacks, and having in the backyard.
Yes.
If we lived along the lake. For some of them, if we lived along the lake for some
We
of
would
them.
have to be along the lake.
Yeah.
It seems like they're all, either on a bush line or in water.
Remote in some way.
Yes.
I
haven't come across any in the desert.
There's so many cryptids. Like when you look, the list was huge. I just went to the ones that
were cuter.
Yes, because I wanted. Well, and there were so many to research. Like it's just, and then I was thinking too, could we, with those oral stories being shared over different generations, are we creating it? The more that we feed the energy into it, could we be creating these creatures as well too? So we're manifesting them into being by putting that energy into the stories and the thoughts.
Right.
Or
we just don't live in a desert climate, and you can't live in my backyard. You wouldn't thrive.
Oh, I would not want to live in desert climate anyway. I don't like sweating.
Me either.
No. I like up north, like where it's
cool by the water.
Yes, and maybe 75.
I'm a 73, 72.
Yeah, I'm all right with that. Okay, so what about Ogopogo? Do you think that you would rub its belly? Again, it's like 30 to 40 feet. Well, it's saying 30 to 50 feet long. But I've seen some of the videos about it, and I just don't see how that could be a log.
No. The ones I saw, there was like bumpy ridges on his back, which made me think sturgeon, which are also. He's just a big fish. He's just a big
prehistoric fish.
Yes.
Do you think it's got somewhere that it's hiding, like an underground cave?
Like a bottom feeder. He's just hanging out at the bottom.
What are tilapias?
Yes.
Tilapias.
No. Well, yeah. Tilapias are the.
Don't they eat from the bottom?
They sure do. They eat their own.
Oh, I don't. That's horrible.
Bottom feeders. Carp.
Carp do too?
Yep.
I didn't know that. I don't know much about fish. Carolyn's saying, I think he said he was covered in some kind of animal smell himself. Well, that sounds reasonable. And he was in a swampy area too. That sounds reasonable too. And I like I said, I'm not discounting it or it. I just would have all those other questions as well too. The same as any of these. I like the Bessie one where they're talking about it like at Crystal Beach.
Yeah.
Like there were so many stories right up to 2015 with that one as well too, right? Like I think that's plausible.
Yeah, because 2015 we have much more modern technology and can take better videos, and
I don't know, but you see people when they're filming on their phone and excited or nervous and their hands are really wobbly or blurry, like
compared to 17 something and you had nothing.
But in the 1700s, they wrote everything. They had to keep. That's how they kept track. They wrote such detailed accounts of everything.
But then it kept getting bigger and bigger. So
I don't know. But if we can tap in, I'm inviting a Chickcharney to come up.
You open the door. Hi.
The chicken lady again. But it looks cute. The Chickcharney.
It was. The videos that I saw didn't have red eyes. It just looked like this fluffy bird sitting in a tropical kind of area.
It said, like it would rip your head off. That it would rip your head off. It would turn the head 360 like it could. So I think the other part to that too with the Chickcharney is there was a type of barn owl specific to the Bahamas that because of population and people moving in that it became extinct. So they think that it is an extension or part of that type of barn owl, or a misidentification, that it's not something that's a cryptid, but something that's evolved from or hidden from people this whole time. I wonder if our world is moving into the bush now, expanding. So now we are in their space, more just like wolves and coyotes. Coyotes are in our streets. Kerrilynn, I agree. And then there's sometimes I think like there's just this other, like if we think everything is dimensional, if we believe everything is dimensional, then these other dimensional beings are overlapped around us as well too, and doorways that allow them to come in and out. That's how I see some of it too. I believe
both. Mm-hmm. I'm team both. We're building too much.
Population's grown too much.
Yeah.
And we're pushing them out because we need the space. Yeah. And like not taking care of our environment either.
Right.
That's why we need more Chickcharneys. We just need more Chickcharneys to come in and dole out karma. Not taking care of the land. Here's your karma.
Yep.
And it's not even like those Ogopogo and Bessie, there's no reports of them doing anything, just showing up. Like they're
just there.
Not like release the Kraken and tentacles coming up. But yes. I wanted to put Kraken on the list because
you did.
I knew it. I would put Kraken on the list. I put a big Kraken on the list. But there's huge squid.
Yeah, there is.
Huge octopus. So going extinct sounds like little people in Ireland are not seen nowadays as they were in the past. So is that a dimension or a fading out for their safety? That's a good question, Kerrilynn. Fading out for their safety, but I've seen fairies.
I don't ever want to see one.
No.
Well, do I have to feed them then? I don't need another person to feed.
You don't eat their food.
Oh. Well, that wouldn't fill me up probably anyways. So.
You don't eat their food. But then that goes to, is there like, are what people believe were fairies, were they aliens? And this still thing, you don't eat the food because then, but I saw fairies in a bush, actually. It took me by surprise.
Everybody was on a fairy kick during COVID, and everybody was leaving.
Can't say that word. You have to be careful.
Leaving food out for fairies. And I was like, leaving food out for fairies. I have enough people in my house that I have to feed. I'm not leaving food out for a fairy. Sorry.
Hi, Kim. Okay, folks, I got everybody agreed, everybody committed to a date. So May 31st, Kim Sage, brilliant medium, is going to be on Spirit Switchboard along with Julie Krause, who had said hello earlier. She's also been on before. Julie is coming on, Kim is coming on, and Laura Potvin and myself, and we're going to do like a round table panel May 31st. And I'm really looking forward to it. And it's going to be fun. Kerrilynn, see, fairies is what I'm thinking. Do they live in another dimension, only coming in when you believe? So I wasn't even thinking about fairies. I mean, I believe them, and I wasn't thinking about them. I was walking by, and at that time, there was a lot of stuff going on for me, but I was focused on healing. I was focused on getting my healing journey going for myself personally and for other people. Very focused on being outside in nature. So I think intent matters.
So
and they presented itself.
Sees a fairy, did you stop and acknowledge? What do you do?
In that moment,
like you stopped and said hello?
Oh no, I didn't stop and say hello. I like I do right now. It's like, did I see that? Did I see that again? And then they were gone.
Oh,
it was that fast. It was what the heck, did I really just see that?
Did they look like Arthur and the Invisibles?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, how do you know they're good and not bad?
Well, nothing bad happened. And then intent. Like, I just don't think, why would a bad fairy do anything? Because I was good.
Aren't fairies, they can be tricky, can't they?
Yes, they can be very tricky. But you vibrate at a higher level, and being in the natural environment, are you bright light to them? I would say so. And again, can they feel your intention, and can they feel what your intention is as well too, and reciprocate whatever you're doling out? Are they going to give it back, right? Right, Kim? That's kind of the experience that I had. Kim is just sharing, I've seen fairies when caught off guard. I just kept going. They intrigued me though. Exactly. And I just mentally, I said, thank you. Like, thank you for that experience.
Like, you saw them in our town?
Yes.
Not even in Ireland?
Yes. But Brooklyn was very much about like feeding the fairies, having the fairy gardens, very much being a part of it, but educating my daughter at the time that she needed to be environmentally conscious. She needed to be good with animals. She needed to be like all those things as well too. There was more to it. Okay. Kim, I'm really sorry that I'm ignorant this way. So is VA Virginia? I'm just asking. It's Virginia, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry.
Actually, there's a picture of Brooklyn as a fairy in behind us.
Is it right behind us? Oh yeah. That way.
More creep.
Above my head. Kerrilynn, I don't think it was because I was a medium. Though I guess at the time, like, I was having a lot more experiences. So, okay, I'll be very transparent. I know. So sometimes, Kim, I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you were here, my friend. I'm going to energetically feel you holding my hand and breathing with me. So I would say my experience with fairies, I knew that I was having fairy experiences, like they were showing up on the property. They presented themselves to me when I was going for a walk. I'd be okay with fairies in the backyard anytime. I was driving, I'm in Guelph, so I was driving down Edinburgh. And you know where the fitness place is across from
The beer store.
the hospital
Oh, yes.
over that way?
St. Joe's.
St. Joe's. Yeah. So I was like almost hitting that spot, and I don't even know what happened. I don't know where I went. I don't know what really happened, but I was driving, and I saw this fairy creature, and it felt like my heart space opened up, and I saw a tree with this whole, like, it opened up, and then I don't know, I was down this tree. I went down into this tree, and this fairy said they were a guide, that they were taking me to my home so that I could remember. And then I felt that unconditional love. I started to cry. I pulled over, and I just sat and then had that whole experience. And she spelled her name. It was Sarhee. Sarhee. Anyway, so I had a spirit guide for that little time period where there was a lot of healing going on. I was spending a lot of time in nature. I was doing a lot of energetic cord cutting. It felt like I was going, it was a lot at the beginning when I was really starting to do a lot of sessions and stuff too. So taking ownership of my own shite, and it pushed me forward. There was so many things that happened. I don't think I've really shared that story out loud with people because it sounds so crazy. But she took me down. I went, my heart, like the Grinch, got really big, and I went down inside this tree, and there was all these fairies, and she was there. And yeah, she was there, and she said that she was a guide, and every once in a while she still pops up.
I don't know how I go on from that.
Well, I cried because I cried because it felt good.
Yeah.
It felt good. And so I've had more than a couple of weird experiences similar to that with spirit guides and stuff like that. But I found there was a little bit of a grieving period after, because Earth School can suck, or Earth School can be uncomfortable. And then after that little processing time and that grieving period, then you remember that you can tap into that anytime.
Right.
So you're never disconnected from that. And I think a big part of why I had that experience was to help me remember who I was on an intuitive level, who I was on a spiritual level, who I was dimensionally, alternate reality.
Right. That's
Yeah.
incredible.
Yeah. Yeah.
When I'm in the car, I just have cheese, bread, eggs, milk. Cheese, bread, eggs, milk.
That's a commercial.
Do you remember that? Oh, yeah.
That's a commercial. Kerrilynn saying, see, I knew you had fairies. Can you spell the name again? I have a personal interest if you can't tell. That's okay. Fairies have been a big part of our world. So it was Sarhee. Because I remember at the time, yeah, we weren't in a very good place at the time, and really having to move forward and taking ownership and everything. It just was like fast. Everything was rolling fast. My personal healing, as I was taking ownership of my personal healing, which with fairies, that was a part of it. It helped me. With my mediumship, if you're taking ownership of your personal healing, it gives you more confidence, you have more clarity, and you can go deeper, go deeper. And there's a different intention. And I say that all the time when I'm working. The intention is in the highest good, greatest interest, and the most amount of healing. And I feel the fairies play a part in that with me.
I think that's a word, your biggest word. Intention.
I say it all the time.
You do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy Kerrilynn, I went through a similar experience when I started shamanism and working with nature more. And it's interesting. Like our stepmom, like we call her stepmom. Our stepmom is Indigenous, and her mother tells people that I'm doing Indigenous work, which I feel very honored that she says that, but I've not been taught that. But the way that I work and the way that I see it and the way that it's been given to me by those in spirit, I understand why she says that. But I have not been taught, and I don't claim to work that way.
Than how I explain you.
Jackie, it didn't feel eerie to me. It felt like going home. I don't even know how else to explain it. But I mean, it's weird to tell people that you felt at home, and I guess it shouldn't, because I hadn't. Kim, I don't know if you've had this experience. Maybe this is something we can talk when we do our round table, right? Like when I went, I have this beautiful. I think it's right. I have a beautiful chunk of amethyst that has a keyhole in it. And when I meditated once with that amethyst, I went down inside, but that crystal took me to Atlantis. And there was all kinds of things happened with that. Teresa's saying, this is just helping me fit all the puzzle pieces together. It's been a crazy day. You know what? It was a crazy day for me too. And I felt angsty all day, like irritated, and I didn't know why. I still don't, but I thought because we were having those huge solar, like geomagnetic solar flares storms today. Jackie's saying, doesn't sound crazy at all. Totally get that. Felt a tree experience, fairy connection one time long ago. Very brief and fast, but touching. Exactly. It was very brief and it was very fast. And it happened when I was driving. I don't know why I was in that spot in that moment. I don't know. I was trying to remember if I had Celtic music even playing. I'm not sure if I did at that point either. I don't know. So maybe we needed to include fairies in our cryptid. Who do we feel okay sharing our space with in the backyard?
Right.
But I know like fairies can trip you up as well too. And I remember I had blamed fairies once. Like I had put a face mask on, and I had my hair up in rollers, and I had this icky face mask on, and a UPS guy showed up and knocked on the door. And of course it's cutie patootie UPS dude. And I opened up the door and I just took it anyway, because what are you going to do? And then realized that not only that, but my zipper was down on my pants. Oh yeah, it was a shiny moment.
But I bet you he never forgot you.
Never forget that address. Probably showed up later and I'm not there. Teresa's sharing, I have always loved fairies. I've always thought they were around. I did too. My daughter too. And it started with like the Cottingley fairies. So on that note, Jennifer, sounds like a bad porn movie.
We have a different cryptid.
We do have a different cryptid. I wasn't sure if we are going to get there, but we've got time now. So this is a good segue. We just have to be mindful of how we're talking about it. I mean, and really, it's just grade 4. It's bad. Not even grade 4. Not grade 4.
Not grade 4.
Not grade 4. Clear, cancel, and delete that I just said that. So we're just going to roll that back.
College.
Roll that back in. Yes.
College humor.
It's bad. But when you read about it, when you read about the cryptid that we're about to share, Yeah, let's see if I can call it up. Sorry. It's the one that I didn't like write notes or print off. I just kept it on my phone. Oh no.
But I feel like I could have named this one.
Okay, folks, are you ready? Again, Canadian.
Mhm.
So
First Nations.
First Nations again. And I wish and that's something else I think about too. If it's Indigenous stories that are shared, they share truths like within their oral traditions. Is it when we get mixed in where the story stretches and expands and isn't, like we have not respected
Right.
in so many different ways, and it gets distorted and how else have we messed it up? So Michelle is sharing, as a little girl, I always hoped to see a Menehune. Michelle, if I've mocked that up, I apologize. When I would visit family, like in Hawaii. We're gonna look that up. Is it one that you'd have in your backyard and that you would rub belly and feed snacks with? It is Hawaii.
Race of dwarf people in Hawaiian tradition who are said to live in the deep forests and hidden valleys.
And nature-oriented, probably, right?
Folklore also ascribes some supernatural properties to the Menehune, and many Hawaiians believe that the Menehune bring good luck and good fortune to those who see them.
Because if you're good, they're going to return it. Well, we're going somewhere totally different than that, but I agree. I would be okay with that too. And again, if you don't have anything to worry about, if you're not, if you're treating the land, respecting the resources, respecting people, you would have nothing. If you're working on spiritual harmony for those dimensional alternate reality, those in spiritual harmony with the people here, like you wouldn't have anything to worry about. And I don't think enough people think that way. I don't feel people think about how they are interacting dimensionally, spiritually, physically, this world, alternate worlds, dimensionally, and we should. I think that we need to teach people differently.
Just be good, do good
on every level.
Stop sucking.
Please. Please. Okay, here we go. The Yukon Beaver Eater.
I wanted to say Beaver Eater.
We're just going to let that sit there for a minute. Okay. A relatively unknown cryptid from the oral traditions of First Nation peoples. It's described as bigger than even the biggest grizzly bear and got its name from its diet. So it has, through stories, it has been said that they flip over beaver lodges to expose the beavers and eat them. So the natives chose a giant ground sloth as the closest lookalike to the beaver eater. So Don Charlie, a Canadian First Nation member, contacted the British Columbia Scientific Cryptozoology Club in 1989 with a sighting. And the BC BCSCC co-founder Paul LeBlanc interviewed her, and in 1990, this was the account that was published in issue number 4 of the BCSCC's magazine. Oh yes, Kim. We were giggling like little kids, and which then I feel bad for giggling like little kids, but here this is where we go with it. So the latest report was from Violet Johnny, my husband's sister, who was fishing with her husband and her mother at the head of Tatchin Lake 4 or 5 years ago. An animal came out of the woods 8 or 9 feet high, bigger than a grizzly bear. It was, I don't know, Setochin, and it was coming towards them. They panicked, fired a few shots over its head, and finally managed to get the motor going and took off. There were other reports. There is also a report that a white man shot one in a small lake in that area. White man, again. Mm-hmm. Disrespectful. Beaver eaters are supposed to live in the mountainous area east of Frenchman Lake. Natives identified a picture of a giant ground sloth as the beaver eater. However, giant ground sloths were herbivores. And I think too, when I was researching it, they have had reports of it in Australia or New Zealand as well too.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we do not have sloths
in Canada.
But we do have an extinct species that is of the same structure from the Megatherium era.
Megafauna, yeah.
So,
but again, it says a paper published in 1996 in Uruguay suggests that at some time the giant ground sloths may have been omnivores, and because of changes in the environment, moved further north
and decided to eat beaver.
Yeah, the Yukon beaver eater. I found this other article. I just want to pull it up really quick. Thanks for being patient, everybody. New Zealand, like it was in New Zealand. Sorry, I just wanted to double check and make sure that I was getting that right. But they say the same thing with this other article that that it stands up really tall and it tears up the beaver lodges and eats the beavers, but they stand very tall.
How does one go from being an herbivore to eating beaver?
Yeah,
that's its prime.
But it's saying like 1989, mid 1980s, 1990. So that's not that long ago.
No. Where was that?
In BC.
BC.
Yeah, in British Columbia.
So it's near water too.
Well, I think that all of them would have to be near water, would they not?
Guess so. It's a resource.
It is so hard to. Well, Denise, you came just as we started talking about the Yukon beaver eater.
Funny story. Do you know that vanilla actually comes from beaver scent glands?
Like that people use for candles and stuff?
No. Vanilla that you bake with.
No, it doesn't.
Do you want to place a wager?
No. Beaver scent glands. Yum.
Our grandfather was a beaver trapper.
So, yeah, he was just a trapper. I'm going to BC in 2 weeks. I'll look for a beaver eater. So it led to a lot of inappropriate jokes today when we were talking about like what kind of cryptids would we have in our backyard and who would we want to share snacks with and rub bellies.
A beaver eater is welcome in my backyard.
You can have some of my cheese. It's so wrong and so bad. But it's supposed to be like a bear-like creature or sloth-like creature, angrier than a grizzly bear is what the reports keep saying. Angrier than a grizzly bear. It's just bad. It's bad humor. But you know what? I needed a good laugh today. So this was great. It's been I don't know how y'all are doing, but the last 2 weeks have been super stressful. So if I'm not trying to be disrespectful in any way, but the beaver topic is hard to not blush at for sure. Denise, I bet you do look forward to the replay. I was trying to get pictures of, and then I couldn't figure out how to make it work today because my brain's not functioning well that way today. But yeah, it says bigger, unusually large grizzly bear, black bear.
And so far, it's the only angry one.
But like it doesn't seem
overly angry.
That one?
Angrier than a grizzly bear? Why are you angrier than a grizzly bear? You're eating beaver.
Sitochin. I might be pronouncing that wrong too. Sitochin.
What does that mean?
It's the beaver eater. Beaver animal.
Okay.
Beaver eater. So it's the name the indigenous name.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's kind of funny looking.
Well, yeah, I can see it's vintage illustration of a megatherium from extinct monsters. So they're saying it's something like that. Exactly. Nobody likes an angry beaver eater. An angry one? No.
I don't care if you're angry.
Yes. Laughing is needed. Crazy stressful. I'm very sorry. I hope that you have a relaxing weekend. Jennifer. Actually, Jennifer, I will see you tomorrow because I think that we're both doing the Astrology 101 course with Joni from True Crime.
Ooh, cool.
True Crime meets astrology.
Fun.
Yes, Contessa, 19 and over. I should have put a warning up at the beginning of the show. If you are offended, keep scrolling by. I know, Kim, actually, all of us, all my favorite peeps are in this class tomorrow. I'm so excited. I'm excited to take the class with Joni because I adore her. So her podcast is True Crime Meets Astrology Behind the Scenes. It's on Wednesday evening with the Rift Nation. I think it's at 8:00. It moved because it was on Monday nights. And yeah. So Jody is sharing best quote of the night. Why are you angry? You're eating beaver. So yeah, it'll be really fun tomorrow to connect with everybody taking that course. Teresa, you are coming to Sarnia on May 25th. I am definitely coming to Sarnia on May 25th for the mental health, Project Mental Wellness charity event. I'm going to, if anybody's in the Sarnia area, I'm going to be at Melody's shop in Mitten Village. mindful jewelry and crystals. I'm going to set a time and just put it out there, like, because there was a lot of people that couldn't get tickets because it was limited. But if you want to come say hi, if you want to hang out and say hello, there was just a lot of people that reached out. So I'm going to put a time up and just let people know that I'm in Sarnia. If you want to come say hello, meet me in person and hang out for a little bit before I do the charity event, just keep watching social media because I'll be putting that up.
The store is called Mittens, or the town is called Mittens?
No, it's in Sarnia, so it's a section of Sarnia called Mitten Village, I believe.
Sounds cute.
Yeah, her store is really cute. People, check it out. I know the tickets went really quickly, Teresa, but I'm going to go to Melody's store. It's called Mindful Jewelry and Crystals. So I'm going to put a time up, and if you want to come meet me in person, you can meet me there. Mindful Jewelry. Yes. Jennifer, I'm glad you got your book, and you'll get a chance to meet Kim and all the other wonderful people that are going to be participating. There's quite a large number of us from the porch group that we have. If you go to my Facebook page, which is Psychic Medium Kerrilynn Shellhorn, there's been a lot of imposter stuff, but you'll see there's the warning, there's stuff at the top of there. I do have, it's called the Morning Porch Group, and it's been hard the last few weeks, but I try to get at least 3 up a week intuitive practices. I do energetic cord cutting and meditations on the full moon. There's lots of videos that you can access there on the porch group.
Busy girl.
Yeah. Yes, busy. Let's just switch this up a wee bit. So tonight it was a fun night hanging out with my sister. It was, I just needed some levity from the last couple of weeks and talking about cryptids that are maybe a little lesser known. Like I had no idea about the Cytochin, the angry beaver eater. I didn't know about the Chickcharneys either. Chickcharneys were new to me as well too. So if you're into those like different creatures, it's a deep dive and lots of fun.
Yep.
If you stick around the UPR, if you're on the UPRN UFO Paranormal Radio YouTube channel or the Facebook page, stick around. Jeffrey Pritchett will be up next with Church of Mavis. Next week on the show, I have Lily Nova. She is a contactee. She is a CE5 practitioner, which means she can connect with aliens and UFOs. She talks about DNA. Yes, it's really fantastic. It's going to be a great segment next week. She does DNA activations, starseed, and connecting with your star family.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Connecting with your star family. So we're going to be talking about that next week. And then on the 31st, Kim Sage. Kim also does videos on her page on Facebook. She goes live on Thursday evenings. I think it's called Sage Wisdom, right, Kim? If it's not, please correct me. So she does live videos there as well too on Thursday evenings. So Kim, Lori Lee Potvin, who is another UPRN host from the Angel Walk on Mondays and the Thing at the Foot of the Bed with David Hansel on Thursday. She's coming, and Julie Krause. You can find her on Instagram and Facebook as Julie Krause Spiritual Advisor. Everybody, Sage Advice. Okay, thank you. I will remember that. I will remember that. Sage Advice. That's so brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
That's great branding. That is great. So we're going to do a roundtable panel. And if you guys have questions, if anybody listening has questions that you'd want to ask. We are not going to be giving readings. I'm just letting everybody know now, we are not giving readings, but if you had questions about the other side, questions about mediumship, questions about our journey, please, email them. Kerrilynn.shellhorn@gmail.com. Oh, Kathy, you got your book too. So Kathy's also, you're going to be taking the course again too. How to connect to the porch group. So if you go to, it's Kerrilynn's Morning Porch, and it's a private group, so everything stays there. Jody McGrath, who had commented earlier, she's one of the moderators for me when I can't be there. So you'll see Jody there quite a bit as well too. Denise Mitz, she's helpful on the porch group as well too. That was here. So thank you, everybody. Thank you to our wonderful network, United Public Radio Network, and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 and 107.7 FM out of New Orleans. So thank you, everybody that was in the chat. Thanks, everybody, for chiming in, adding to the conversation, asking questions, and just hanging out. And thanks to my sister.
You're welcome.
I love you.
I love you too.
Okay, have a good night, everybody, and we will see you next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Good night.